If you are considering a compact SUV, but you want a little bit of extra space and flexibility, and you don't want to commit to a mid-size or a three-row SUV, you should for sure consider this one. Welcome to Side Roads Auto. I'm Carlos, and this is a 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander. So the Outlander has this exterior bold design, almost unique, I would say. But what happens in the interior experience is really important in this segment, the space, the technology, what it's all about. So before we talk numbers, let's take a look. So the cabin on the 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander is nice and premium. The materials are mostly soft and nice and very well put together. There is a little bit of hard plastic here and there, but it doesn't take over. The dash have this wrapped leather portion too, and because it's in the same color of the fabric, it makes the cabin really rich. The support point I find comfortable enough, and we have two memory seats for two different drivers, and all windows are one touch up and down. The seat I find really comfortable, and I like the design. Have this pattern here with perforation and stitching. It's not contrast, but the design itself is really good, and they are kind of wide, really comfortable, at least for my body, and the driving position is excellent in this car. I feel like I'm driving something sporty. That is really good. The steering wheel comes wrapped in leather and is heated. And then we have a 12.3 inches digital gauge cluster. This is optional because we are in the top trim, so we have it here. And it's based on the Nissan system, so it's really good. And the information in the middle you can change and have there whatever you prefer to see all the time. All the messages from the car come from there too, and some of the settings from the car you can control from this screen too. And you can also configure a different view for your gauge cluster. That is really nice. It's really functional. I really like it. And then we have a 12.3 inches infotainment screen here. It's also optional. There is a 7 inches available in lower trims, and it's nice, the design, and the icons are big and easy to use and easy to read and reach. I like that, and you can split the screen and select whatever you want to see. There are some physical control here for your volume and your tuning, and there is a button here for the camera, which is handy to have. It comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The air conditioning controls are down here, and they're all physical buttons. Thank you for not being included in the screen. So we have heated and ventilated seats here and heated steering wheel, and then you screen for all the functions, pretty straightforward. Wireless charging, two cup holders, an electronic shifter, and your drive mode selector here that we have Eco, Normal, Tarmac, Gravel, Snow, and Mud. That's pretty extensive there, and it's based on the super all-wheel control legendary system from Mitsubishi. The center console is on the average size, but this is enough for the size of this car. The glove box is also a good size. We have also a panoramic sunroof. For the 2026 model, which was refreshed earlier on the year, they also have this Yamaha sound system. In this case, it's 12 speakers. In other trims, you have 8 speakers, and it sounds really good. I fit behind myself based on my driving position, and there is plenty of space, or enough space, for my knees and my height. The seats can be reclined, and I find them comfortable. There are air conditioning controls and air vents back there, and this top trim comes with heated back seat too. They can be folded 40-20-40, which allows you to have longer items in the middle while keeping the two seats there, and they are comfortable. The trunk I find practical and big enough for the segment. I like this cabin. It feels premium enough. We have this trim here. There is a little piano black, especially in this high traffic area. I'm not super crazy about that, but it looks good. It's not the most functional thing, but it looks good. So it looks premium. It feels good. It's wide. It's comfortable. It's modern. It has everything that you need, and especially for the price, and good for the market. The 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander comes with a 1.5-liter four-cylinder turbo engine that produces 174 horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to a CVT, and it comes with the unique Mitsubishi Super all-wheel control. The Outlander comes with all the safety and driver assistance features that you expect in this segment. Fuel efficiency for the Mitsubishi Outlander is 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers city, 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers highway, which is 26 mpg city and 30 mpg highway. Let's talk about price. The 2026 Outlander starts in Canada around 36,000 Canadian dollars, and the top trim goes to around 49,000 Canadian dollars. In the US, the best price starts around 29,000 US dollars, and the top trim goes to around 42,000 US dollars. So the Outlander competes in the compact SUV segment against vehicles like the Nissan Rogue, the Mazda CX-5, the Hyundai Tucson, and the Kia Sportage, among many, many others. And as you can see in the graphic, they are so close to each other, they are very competitive. So do yourself a favor and test drive and research so you can find exactly the one that fits you. Remember, the Outlander is a little bit bigger. Now, if you're okay with the price and the position on the market of the Outlander, let's see how it drives. So driving the Outlander 2026 is good enough, I would say. I like this car in general, especially by the driving position. It feels so right for me, and I don't know, I want to go fast on it because it feels like a sport car driving position. I said this before in one of my Outlander videos, but it's true. I really, really like it. But there are some things that we need to talk about, and we will go through them. So let's start with the cabin. The cabin is really quiet. It's very well insulated, and this was done for 2025 and a half, 2026 as an upgrade. And it's one of the things that makes this car feel a little bit more premium than your average compact SUV. And remember, compact SUVs is a super crowded and competitive segment. And yes, each time that you get a top trim, you get it fully loaded, but the lower trim, they still feel a little bit like that, like, you know, an entry-level segment type of thing, which I think the Outlander is walking away from that and giving you that more upscale and premium feeling, and I really like that. So the cabin being so quiet is one of those elements that you feel, okay, I'm getting my money back here, and I like that. Then we have the suspension, which is interesting to me. When I drove the Outlander plug-in hybrid, it's still one of my favorite cars that I have driven for the channel, and the suspension was a surprise to me. It was one of the best elements out of that car because it really made it feel like something much more expensive. Mitsubishi has updated the suspension for 2026, and I have to say that while it's really comfortable in the highway and it does a really good job with the car in general, it's a comfortable ride, it does the vibrations gets into the cabin when the bumps or the imperfections from the road are too intense. So in general terms, fine, and it feels planted and somehow sporty, mostly because of the steering that we are going to talk about. But I think the other suspension, maybe because of the weight of the battery or something, I think the tuning on the suspension from the plug-in hybrid that I drove was a little bit better than this one. It's still good, and it's still, you know, competitive and class appropriate. So then we have the steering, which is the best part of this car to me. It feels like a go-kart. It's so good. You know, you want to be on corners and curve all the time because it's so direct and so quick. It feels like an old school, steering column and direction and steering in general. It's just so good. I'm in love with this. I really like it. Makes the car feel a lot more sporty than what it really is. This is a comfortable A to B type of vehicle, but this steering belongs. I wish that my Miata had this steering. It's just so good. And then we have the transmission. This is a CVT, and Mitsubishi and Nissan has a partnership. So I think this is a Mitsubishi CVT. It's not clear in the press release and the information that I got, but it is also making shift, is simulating shifting, but it does it in a particular way. So I'm not crazy about this CVT, and I'm also not crazy about the combination of this CVT with this engine. It feels really CVT. And the CVT has this thin droning sound and sensation when you press it, go, it does that a little. It does it shifting, but not enough, or not in all the occasions. And there is sound coming from the engine, so you can see the CVT. It feels CVT. And I think many brands have, the ones that are still working with CVT has been improving and doing a better job in hiding the CVT-ness. So I don't know, my less favorite thing about this car is for sure the transmission. The brakes are good, they feel responsive, and they are good for this car, and they stop this car no issue. Modulation for the brake pedal is fine. I have no issues. I have been driving this car with the brake. I feel completely confident about them. They are good. And then we have visibility, which is good in this car. The front window is huge. The side windows are huge. The mirrors have a proper side and have blind spot. Monitoring the back window is also big. I can see everything. There is a little window behind the second row. The D pillar has a massive blind spot there, but you have either reverse camera or 360 camera depending on the trim. We have 360 here, and it's good. So, and that's typical from this class and compact SUV, so that is good. It feels airy and nice in here on top of this massive sunroof. Then we have the engine, which this is special, I think. I was a little bit confused when I just got in this car. Nissan and Mitsubishi has a partnership. I recently drove a Nissan Rogue, and they both came with a 1.5 liter turbo, which is the newest thing for 2026 in the Outlander. They just swapped the previous engine for this 1.5 turbo. So I saw it was coming from Nissan, but it doesn't drive the Rogue that I recently drove. So when I went back to the material and all the stuff from Mitsubishi, it turns out Mitsubishi is claiming that this is a in-house developed engine. So I have to say, or I have to believe that this 1.5 is Mitsubishi engine, not a Nissan engine. And now it makes sense, because this does not behave or feel like the Rogue. Forgive me, I don't like comparing vehicles in my videos, but because of that partnership and my confusion, I'm bringing in this up. So it has 174 horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque. If I'm not mistaken, it's down in power compared to the previous engine, but it's up in torque. And torque is what it helps, and it has a turbo. So in general terms, these engines move this car with no issue. In the highway, is fine. From a stop, is fine. It has also a mild hybrid added now too. So it is all good. I think it's good for the market. It's very competitive. It's right there with the rest. A little bit down on power again, but the torque makes up for the missing power there. When we were reviewing the competitors, you saw it. This is all the ones that I listed are like copy paste from each other pretty much. But in here, and maybe because it's also a heavier car than the Rogue, this engine I think feels, and in combination with the CVT, and I drove the previous Outlander and it felt a little bit better in my humble opinion, I'm sorry. So I think this vehicle needs a little bit more power or a different CVT for the whole CVT experience not to be present. And please watch my Rogue video, because in that case it has so much power and torque, and I guess the vehicle is also lighter than the experience. You know, you don't feel the CVT and it's peppy and it feels different. In here, and I said this in that video too, I believe the secret for a good CVT experience is to have enough power. And in here, I don't think we have enough power, and then the CVT takes the first place here. It's a main character of the vehicle, and that's never a good thing. So again, I really like the Outlander. I think it's appropriate for the segment. I think it's enough power. It moves the car with no issue. It's just could be a little bit better on all this combination because it feels very CVT heavy. That's my observation, I think. So again, this is a good car, and by the way, this is a compact SUV, but it's a little bit bigger than the rest, and it has this trick of a third row, which is for small kids only. But hey, you have an emergency, you have to pick up your kids, and you have two extra because somebody called you to ask you for the favor. You have that extra flexibility there. I like that. I will not fit in that third row. It's not for adults, it's not for long trips, but small kids, you can use it. Maybe for your dog too, I don't know. Good to have for those specific reasons. So it feels premium, it's quiet, it's a nice ride in the highway. It has plenty of elements to be competitive in the segment 100%. So if you are in the market for a compact SUV and want a little bit more space and a little bit more of flexibility, and you don't want to commit with a mid-size or a three-row SUV, check out the 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander. That's all we have for the 2026 Mitsubishi Outlander. Let me know, what do you think?